No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Pow day.
Dude, let's go.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Happy Friday. Welcome to the end of the work week. We made it. Bronco Nation News Live here at Bronco Nation News.
Play the drop.
I don't have one for myself. It's never happened before, man. Oh, that's funny. Bronco Nation News Live on a Friday here at BroncoNationNews.com. My name is BJ Rains. That is Jay Tust. We are back here, live edition, to give you thoughts on Pearson Carmichael, on the win over New Mexico, on tomorrow's game at Nevada. Shout out Naismith Rains, 10th birthday today. And scary times. I did not get him a cell phone, Jay. We're not there yet, even though a lot of his friends do. But we got him a new little watch from T-Mobile that's kind of a in-between a cell phone and a thing. And I just got a text from him that he's at school. So that is one of the scariest things I've ever gotten in my life. It turns off here, I think, in 1 minute. I got the little parental guidance on for schools or something. But that was very weird, putting my kid's name in my contacts for the first time on and getting a text that I am at school. That's kind of cool, actually. But happy birthday, Smith. 10 years old. Shout out to my boy, even though I know he's not watching, but proud parent today. And because of that, we are staying to go out to dinner tonight, and then I'll be taking a nice 6 a.m. flight, hopefully tomorrow, get to Reno in time. Actually still thinking about driving. I texted you, Jay. I thought you might want to come along, but I know you're a little busy with girls.
You're gonna drive to Reno tomorrow?
I was thinking about going like to Winnemucca tonight, late tonight or something, getting halfway there. I don't know. Probably not. I just flying at 6 a.m. through Vegas and getting there. And it's gonna be a long day tomorrow. But either way, we'll get to Reno one way or the other. And it's a massive game that we'll talk about a little bit later in the show. We also are going to officially, I've kind of hinted at it or mentioned it, we're going to officially announce the details for the 2025 Bronco Nation News Golf Tournament today. We're ready to finally get that up and rolling, and we only have limited foursomes because of the new format we're doing this year. So we'll tell you about that, and we will let you know about the extra $20 fee to watch Jay Tust on the range. So if that is something that you're interested in, that is an option this year as well, hoping to raise a little extra money for the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. We were thinking about, Jay, just putting you on the long drive hole, and people could just, pay a fee. And we have, a Boise State female women's golfer that helps take folks shots on the par 3. Maybe you could just go on the long drive hole on the par 5 and just, for a $20 donation, just let it rip.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose more than $20 in golf balls, buddy. But for that one that actually stays in the fairway, it's gonna be a hell of a drive.
We're just going to eliminate the J Tust workout the day before the event this year, because we do.
Yeah. Knock on wood, man. Terrible timing last year. I think it was. I think I tore my bicep the night before the event was supposed to kick off. Right?
Yes, you were going to moderate our Q&A with Leon Rice and Spencer Danielson, and then you sent me a message, and I thought you were kidding, but you had surgery that morning or something, and you're
I went in almost immediately for surgery.
Sky Ship wins the Wish I Was There award today on the ski lift at Tamarack, listening to BNN today. So
nice work, Sky.
Now try to listen to us on your way down the hill. That's really what that's good for you, Sky. Enjoy the time up there. I agree. Don't give the kids a phone. No need unless they have a job. Hold you back. Yeah, we're gonna wait as long as we can. I can't believe it. He said second graders have phones now these days. It is just absolutely crazy how quickly they have it. And I feel like I've waited a long time already with how his friends have had him for a couple of years. But we're gonna go at least middle school, probably at least. So we got 2 more years probably. But the watch feels like a good middle ground. You can see where he's at with a GPS tracker and all that. So that's kind of feels good for us. And then you can only text your parents or the people in the contact, so you can't be texting his friends and things like that. So we're looking forward. Big birthday. So happy birthday, Naismith. But all right, Jay, the game against New Mexico, we were there, press row. Nice win. We kind of, the spread was weird. I talked about it with, yesterday with Johnny. I mean, we kind of knew something was up when we saw that. The score didn't indicate how much they dominated New Mexico. But before we dive into some of the individual takeaways from that game, what'd you think of the win? And obviously a nice, nice crowd, fans getting ejected, other sponsors getting into it with the coaches. I mean, it was just one of those festive atmospheres we haven't had this year at Extra Mile Arena.
Yeah, don't mess with the hawk. You're gonna get the claws. You know what I mean? The Hawks, I should say. No, what a fun night though at Extra Mile Arena. And I think that more than anything, it just kind of reminded me, BJ, that home court does mean something in this league. And I thought that it was funny because what was it? New Mexico beat Boise State 84 to, oh gosh, now I can't remember off the top of my head. Either way, at one point in time with about 4 minutes to go, it was almost the exact same score. And it was flipped in favor of Boise State, right? So home court means something in this league. And I know that at times we've definitely pointed out that Boise State was winless against teams in the upper half of the Mountain West Conference. Any team above them prior to New Mexico, on Wednesday, Boise State was 0-5. But I think the one thing that's kind of important to note on that is that they played all those tough teams on the road in the first half of the schedule, and now they get them at Extra Mile Arena. And so they already got New Mexico. Now they got to go get Colorado State and Utah State. They can't go back and get San Diego State because that is the one that they did lose here in Boise, and they probably should have found a way to win that game, but that was still a team that was really evolving at that point in time with different players and different starting lineups. And it now seems, at least for a game, like Boise State discovered a new code or whatever you want to call it that now has the Rubik's Cube, if you will, a little closer to being complete.
Yeah, and Pearson Carmichael, a big part of that. But it's interesting because some people, I've heard other media members say it, fans say it, whatever. Like, well, yeah, it's great he started him, but I mean, why wasn't this dude starting for the last month, or why hasn't he been playing for the last month, or what? They still wasted most of the year. I mean, how did he not realize they had this talent sitting on the bench? I mean, people will criticize Leon for just about anything, Jay. But I mean, we weren't at practice. We don't know. I mean, I think it was a combination of other guys not performing to their level that they should have, and then also him getting better and finally proving that he was ready to play. I mean, if he was doing this in practice, at the start of the season, I don't necessarily know if they would have waited this long to do it. I think we're not at practice. It's hard to say, but it's not like Leon knew he had, this sitting on the bench. And he's like, oh, I'll just wait till mid-January to decide to play him. Like, I think players get better. Situations change. Being a freshman from Bend, Oregon is a lot different than playing Mountain West games. And so I think they, he got some practice in, he got better. And at some point it clicked and the coaching staff decided they were ready to play him. So I think this should be in my, and again, people want to call us homers, whatever, that's fine. But I see this as a, positive on the Leon Rice thing that he decided to start him and it paid off and it worked, not why hasn't he been starting for the last month? I don't really buy that part of it. I think there's a lot more to the story that we don't know about.
Yeah, I have a couple takes on this because we heard similar things, I would say, last year about Chris Lockett Jr. when Boise State was really searching for answers at the point guard position. And we've even seen in Chris's second year that it's not, success isn't linear, right? Like, you're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs. There is such thing as player development. And that's something that Boise State really hangs their hat on, mostly because they have to, because they just can't have an unlimited NIL fund where they go out and buy guys. Yeah. So player development is important. And I think that they bring in Pearson Carmichael. Let's not forget, the guys that he was playing against last year were Oregon high school basketball players. Like, you still have to figure out if he can actually handle playing at the college level right out of high school. On another thing too that I also think is irrelevant is talking about whether or not they wasted his redshirt freshman year. Everybody, this is irrelevant. It is irrelevant moving forward. Sometime in the next 4 to 5 years, when Pearson Carmichael still will have eligibility, the NCAA is going to change its eligibility rules. So if anything, it was a really wise move to burn his red shirt because it's going to go to a 5-year eligibility rule, and not playing him this year would have been a waste. To further my point on that argument really kind of took off right around the new year. I'd even say over the holidays. So I don't think that people were really thinking about it or believing it was a possibility going into the season. So stuff changes, stuff evolves, and they needed a player that could shoot. Pearson Carmichael might be the best pure shooter on the team. And as everything is kind of, played out here, it made sense to play him. They're not wasting his redshirt year because that's going to be a thing that's no longer even a thing. So not everything has to be controversial. Like they're playing him because he's good and he's making an immediate impact. They didn't waste time. If anything, they might have bought him time. And now you're seeing, the fruits of that labor, if you will, start to pay off. He was great the other night. And I think that for the first time, BJ, it was a significant run for Pearson. He never once looked overwhelmed. He didn't look sped up. He looked perfectly composed and ready for the moment.
Yeah, no, he looked like he was balling it, in Bend, Oregon, back in high school, and just dominating, shooting threes, driving to the rack. His whole game.
That's another thing. He only was a shooter here the first 8-9 games he played, and then all of a sudden in game 10 and 11, he's starting to put the ball on the deck and get to the free throw line. And this is something this team really, really needs. And Pearson Carmichael's trying to be like, guys, I got you. I can be this guy.
John says, I'm surprised they were going to redshirt him as he's the best shooter on the team. Meadow has been underwhelming this year. I think that's part of it, Jay. It's not necessarily just his skill. It's they were giving these other guys the opportunity. Their runway to try to prove that they were capable of doing it. And then it got to a point where enough of them didn't, that they decided they had to make this change.
I agree. And I don't know if there's a player on the team that loves basketball more than Andrew Meadow. That guy, you can tell he is just so passionate about this game and his work ethic and things like that. But we are through 26 games and he's shooting about 32% from three. And I think that you thought that he would be close.
Open threes too and driving. It's been a weird lately with him.
I think that you thought he was going to be closer. I'm not saying you thought Andrew Meadow was going to shoot 44% from three going into the year. That would be a ridiculous expectation, but they would have definitely taken 38%. So, he's young, right? Let's not forget that he's in his second year of college. So let him figure it out too and deal with the ups and downs. And he's had some pretty good moments for Boise State this year. But the reality is that they saw what Pearson Carmichael can offer, figured he could help this team. And I know that technically on paper, the Clemson win was bigger. but that was the biggest
Mary's
game of the
also.
year. What was that?
I think St. Mary's also technically.
No, actually, technically, the St. Mary's win is better than the Clemson win right now. But I just think that when you look at what the point in the season, how everybody was feeling, the makeup of the roster, I think that New Mexico game was the most important game of the season so far. And I'm getting away from metrics and NCAA tournament talk and all that stuff for a second, but just proving now when they go to Vegas, BJ. I wholeheartedly believe if you can beat that New Mexico team, you can beat anybody in this league. I mean, that's not even a bold prediction. I mean, they're 14-2. If you can beat New Mexico, you can beat any team in this league. And now when they go to, Las Vegas, they will hold that somewhere in the back of their minds when they step on the court in the semifinals or whatever it is. They're going to have this thing. It's not going to be this 19-point drumming down in New Albuquerque they're going to think of. It's going to be when they handled, New Mexico up here in Boise and really punched back all night long. And that's going to give them, I believe, a lot of confidence down in Las Vegas.
No doubt. It changes the outlook here moving forward, at least the feeling. And especially if they can get the win tomorrow. We'll talk about that in a second. There is one voicemail. I forget what we did to get rid of the echo. I think we muted ourselves, Jay. I'll try to do that myself. But I do have a quick voicemail I wanted to play on the Signature Roofing voice inbox. Tyson here eating a little crow on Pearson Carmichael. We'll see if this works here.
All right, BJ. It's Tyson from Lewiston. I'm here to say I was wrong about Carmichael. I said he should be out of the rotation a couple of weeks ago. Well, he proved tonight he should be in the rotation. And he should probably be a starter the rest of the year. Good win tonight. Go Broncos.
Did that work? Did you hear that, Jay?
I don't know why. I'm gonna get on early and we're gonna figure this out one day.
Did that work? Please tell me that worked. I it was echoing last time, and I'm not sure why you didn't hear it because when I came in as a guest earlier in the show and tried it, and it worked for me. So I have no idea what.
We'll figure this out. But go ahead and paraphrase.
Johnny Ballgame says, "Imagine a peanut saving a college basketball season."
No small peanuts.
No echo. And yeah, it worked. Okay, everyone else heard it. I love the remorse. Well done, Tyson. Basically, our friend Tyson from Lewiston saying that he was wrong a couple weeks ago when he said Peanut should be out of the rotation, and he's happy and that he should be starting the rest of the season. So, okay, we got it. 10 of you said it worked. You can stop saying it worked. Thank you. But I will say, like, we saw the game. Was it 2 weeks ago? Like when he had those bad, horrible turnovers at UNLV. Like, it's and you can make the argument, sure, I guess, if you would have played him at the beginning, you would have worked through that and he would have got to this point a month ago if he was playing all season. I don't know. But it clearly hasn't been like, he's played 10, 12 games. He was averaging 10 minutes a game. I would say at times he's looked overmatched. At times, I'm not expecting him to score 20 points again tomorrow. Like, he could be, it wouldn't shock me if he had 4 points tomorrow.
He's got to go out on the road and do it this time too, yes. Right?
But I guess I guess it's kind of the chicken or the egg, or we'll never really know, Jay. Like, yes, if they had just handed the keys to him from the Oakland game to start the season, would he probably be in a little better spot right now? Yes, but would, Meadow or somebody else not be in the same spot? Like, it's just, I don't think that's maybe it is fair argument.
You also have to think about the mental approach, BJ. If you put a kid out there too soon, especially a shooter, and he starts 2 for 20, you could absolutely lose him for the rest of the season if he's got no other confident, thing to lean on, right? And so by doing it this way, I think that they've actually brought him along at the right pace. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know how you could argue the difference. Like, the dude went out and scored 21 points the other night against the best team in the league in the biggest game of the year. To argue that something was wrong with his development is kind of a moot point at this point in time. I just don't think it. So I think it's invalid.
It's the folks that, no matter what, don't want to give Leon Rice any credit for anything. So it's like, okay.
I don't even know if it's that. I just disagree with it. Yeah, I don't even know if it's that. I just disagree. Like, to think that Pearson, if you started him game 1, would have just stepped on the court and done this. I don't think that you can.
It might have been.
I just don't think that applies. I don't think it's applicable.
And when you're on the scout team, you practice. You know this, Jay, but like literally every day of practice for the last 5 months, he's been guarding Javen Buchanan and guarding these guys and playing against them and having to try to score on them. So like behind the scenes, he's been playing against the 5th place team in the Mountain West every day in practice or whatever. And so, guys get better. Like,
they
get better. Where'd your light go? What happened?
I don't know. Just went out. Let me give me just a quick second, okay?
Oh, you're good. It's fine.
right.
Signature Roofing is the voice inbox. Speakpipe.com/BNN if you want to leave us a voicemail. We appreciate the voicemail there from Tyson. But I mean, it's certainly again, he's not going to do this every game. I mean, he's averaging about 11 minutes a game, and then he goes for 30 minutes. I mean, I don't know how many made threes he had in the season.
4. Oh,
He had
yeah, sorry.
not many more. I mean, he almost doubled his production for like the season in that one game. So like I said, I'm not predicting him to have 20, Jay, but if he can have 10 to 12 and then have the occasional 15, 16, but if he can be a guy that you can pencil in to hit you 2 threes a game and get you 10, 12 points, like, and then Omar Stanley, if you can get, and we haven't mentioned him and what he did the other day, which was very encouraging. Like, yeah, you talk about, they go down to Vegas and you already beat New Mexico once. Like, you get guys playing like that, and you look at, especially the schedule you have, after this game Saturday, and you come back home. I know Utah State's tough, but the last 3 home games, like, it does change the feeling a little bit. I'm not saying this team's going to make a run to the Final Four, but you certainly do go to Vegas thinking there's no reason this team couldn't make a run down there.
You just have to figure out a way to compete in every single game from here on out, and namely at the Mountain West Conference tournament. Let's face it, we can talk about NCAA tournament odds and stuff like that because they do exist still. They do. And I even think, like, when you see like 30% or something like that feels like a lot. But at this point in time in the year, you need to win everything, and you need a lot of help in order to get that percentage back in your favor. And so are their NCAA tournament hopes dead? No. But even 30% is not as inflated as it probably seems, considering how much help they need from other teams around the country and how many games they have to win. But that being said, figure this out before the Mountain West Conference tournament, and now you feel like you can go down there and beat anybody because you beat New Mexico. And you beat them with a kid that wasn't in your starting lineup. Now he is. He feels like he can be a contributor, and I think that gives you even more confidence. But, BJ, in terms of Boise State freshmen that have had over 20 points in a game with 4 or more threes in a game, how many people would you – and I'm going to try to just shoot from the hip here. I don't want you to think about it too much. How many freshmen do you think in the Leon Rice era have had 20 or more points and 4 or more threes in a game?
Oh, probably 3 or 4.
Outside of Peanut or including Peanut?
Ooh. Let's go 4 with Peanut.
2. Peanut Carmichael.
Justinian Jessup.
Anthony Drimmick.
Okay. Wow. I was thinking
Anthony Drimmick.
I was thinking about Drimmick maybe. But okay.
Dude, I was right there with you. I even thought that Tyson hung out on the perimeter a lot his freshman year. I really thought Tyson would have had one of those games.
Yeah.
But no, it is that group is Pearson Carmichael and Anthony Drimmick. How many points did Anthony Drimmick score in his career? 1,942, 2 shy of the all-time school record. No, I'm not saying that Peanut Carmichael is going to chase down the school record for scoring at this point in time in his career. All I am saying is that is really good company to be in at this point in time in your career.
All right, I want to spin this forward, talk about the game tomorrow. I want to hit on the Maui Invitational, and then I also want to get Jay's thoughts on the football schedule coming out here in the last 20 minutes or so that we have. But rowpaint.com, our title sponsor, hit them up. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics is rowpaint.com. There would be no BNN without rowpaint.com. So all your painting projects, those concrete coatings, those interior, exterior painting projects, make sure you hit up our title sponsor at rowpaint.com. Taco Bell, another big supporter. They are hiring. You can look for more information on applying for a job on their website, tacobellworks.com, with the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family. We appreciate them for their support. And you can also just go into a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location. They have the paperwork to sign up for a job and apply for a job right there on the table. You get up to half your wages the next day after your shift, free food while you work, great promotional opportunities. It's maybe you never thought of a career at Taco Bell, but it's a very fulfilling and lucrative one there. So hit them up, tacobellworks.com. And while you're in there, check out some of the great food options they have, including Deluxe Cravings boxes, the Cantina Bowls, and all the great things there at Treasure Valley Taco Bell. Idaho Central Credit Union, our Friday show sponsor here. It's an ICCU Friday on Bronco Nation News. There's a branch pretty much on every corner around town, but the easiest is that mobile eBranch online banking right there in your smartphone. The Raines family is so happy we made the switch to ICCU. You will be as too. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Make the switch today. Idaho Central Credit union. Jay, I know you've been up for hours already getting the kiddo to school. Hopefully you hit up the Jacksons near you to get your 99-cent coffee. 99-cent coffee at Jacksons using your Let's Go Rewards app. And then I don't know what time they start serving. Do they have hot dogs going at 8 in the morning? They probably do. Hot dogs. You get a hot dog, a soda, and a banana for $2 today. That's at Jacksons, any Treasure Valley Jacksons location today. You have to use the Let's Go Rewards app because the Broncos got 70 points on Wednesday. You can get that hot dog, fountain drink, and banana today. So head up to Jackson's today, use your Let's Go Rewards app, and get the $2 bundle with the Broncos scoring 70 points. And that is at Jackson's. Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio, and Game. We appreciate them very much. Whether it's a spa, whether it's a sauna, whether it's a pool table for the game room, they got you covered. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. Check them out online at thespateam.com. And the Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorange.com. You're looking for some Boise State gear. We mentioned Travis Hawks. I mean, you want to support someone, the Matt Bouchers of the world, the Travis Hawks of the world that are literally, getting into it with the opposing coach during the game. Like, if that doesn't mean, he's bleeding blue, I don't know what does. The blueandorange.com, jerseys, bumper stickers. They got the daily deals right there in the front of the store. You can order anywhere online, anywhere in the world, and they'll ship to you. The blueandorangestore.com, or just go into the Boise Town Square Mall, the second floor there next to the Pro Image. And they got some great deals and specials, and we appreciate our sponsors at the Blue and Orange Store. And our final major sponsor I want to mention in this break is Lithia Ford of Boise, lithiafordboise.com. And Jim Sturk, Jamie Drake and company do a tremendous job, and they've got the NIL game. They don't just take care of the football players. They got 3 female student athletes, softball, women's golf, volleyball. So they're helping keep some of the top athletes in all sports at Boise State with the NIL game. And of course, they have some of the football players as well. So with the weather the way it is, going to be cold and icy here for a few more weeks probably. You need that F-150, that all-wheel drive vehicle, the 4-wheel drive vehicle. They can take care of you at Lithia Ford Boise. You can view their full inventory online at lithiafordboise.com. All right, Jay, tomorrow's game, in the description, I called it must win. I mean, if you want to have any chance of getting into the NCAA, any chance, and I still think it's remote, but if they were to go run the table and go 6-0 here to win the end the regular season, I think they would at least be in the conversation going into the conference tournament. But you have to have a win against Nevada, and this is a very sneaky, tricky game. It's a game that you already beat Nevada, at your place, and they're a team that's without Trey Coleman now, but they've still got, Nick Davidson. They've got Xavier Dussel, one of the top 3-point shooters. And I haven't looked yet. I'm embarrassed to admit this. I think he's closing in, but I don't think he's passed Justinian Jessup's 3-point record yet. I know he was about 23s away when they came to Boise, back on January 29th. Boise State won that game by 10, 66-56. And now that Boise State goes to Nevada, where Ken Pom gives a 1-point edge to Nevada in this matchup. They have a 48% chance for Boise State to win, 52% for Nevada. Reno, obviously they're approaching a sellout. I don't know if you saw this or not, but they're having some sort of blackout or something, and they only had about 1,000 tickets left as of yesterday. So
wait, and are they going to wear white jerseys? I get a freebie you out one today.
I don't understand that. Boise's. Yeah. Well, the problem is it wasn't really a blackout. Boise. No, if you'd have been looking around the Boise State arena, you wouldn't have known it was a blackout. There were no.
Well, the joke is that they didn't. The team wore white uniforms, and San Diego State had a blackout, and they wore white uniforms. So I'm just guessing that Nevada's wearing white uniforms.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why you do a blackout in the stands and don't wear your black uniform. San Diego State didn't do it, and then Boise State didn't do it. And for whatever reason, they don't do a very good job of marketing that, because I think a lot of people were not wearing – the students were wearing black for the most part, but a lot of people in the stands were not wearing black the other night. I don't know what they need to do. That's another discussion for another day. But anyway, they are approaching a sellout, which surprises me for how bad Nevada's been this year at times. But a Saturday 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock game there in Reno, it's a good time on a Saturday afternoon, I guess. So they're approaching a sellout. So it's going to be a tough environment. And I think they're going to beat Utah State, Jay. I really do at home. I just think that at home, that's a whole different team, and that's a good matchup. So I see this. I mean, maybe this is crazy for me to say, but I see this as the toughest game left on the schedule. I see this game as the hardest game left, the final serious roadblock for me. If they win this game, they will win I truly believe they will win out the regular season, in my opinion. And that's taken nothing away from Utah State. I think they're a very good team, but I just think Boise State at home, if they can get an even better crowd than they had the other night, they just play differently when that place is packed and rocking. And I just believe they're going to beat Colorado State on senior night. Air Force, Fresno, sure, 2 tricky road games, whatever, but those both have to be wins. I think tomorrow for me is, that's why I called it must win. You find a way to win tomorrow. I think you can win out the regular season. You would have won 10 out of 11 games. You'd be on a 6-game winning streak, I think it would be, or 5-game winning streak, whatever. I think that if you want to get back in the conversation tomorrow, you have to have. I think tomorrow's a massive game.
I agree, and I think I even said that maybe a week or two ago. I'm right there with you, man. Is it the most difficult opponent left on your schedule? No. Is it the most difficult situation left on your schedule? I would say probably, because Lawler's a tough place to play. Nevada's pretty darn good at home. They're trying to do whatever they can at this point in time to find some type of positivity to their season, and finding a way to beat Boise State would absolutely mean a lot to those players that have been left behind following a really, really good era when, Jared Lucas and Keenan Blackshear were playing for the Wolfpack. You look at the fact that this is a quad 1 game. So in terms of those metrics, this is also the most difficult game left on their schedule. It's Boise State's last chance. In the regular season, this is their last chance to get a quad 1 victory. If you look at everything else, New Mexico, Utah State, they would have a really tough time climbing to the point where playing in Boise would classify that as a quad 1 game. Like I almost think it's impossible, to be honest with you. So you consider, I'll bring up Bart Torvik really quick. You look at his daycast numbers, and sure, there are games that have to play out today before you can actually calculate tomorrow's projections. But what he has right now, if Boise State wins this game tomorrow, all of a sudden their NCAA tournament chances are now at 37.2%. A big reason for that jump is because, again, it's a quad 1 game. So 37.2 is still a long ways away from feeling comfortable that you actually can make the NCAA tournament, but at least you're getting back closer and closer to a potential coin flip argument, which they've got to win out to even have a chance of a coin flip argument.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But the bubble is just so bad this year. I was talking to Prater about that. Like, you would just think, Boise State would be 22-9 or whatever. Like, I get it. They're not, or 8. How many losses they got right now? They would be
8.
Yeah, they're 18-8 right now.
18-8. Yeah.
5, they could be 23-8 going into the tournament. But again, I understand they don't have the number of quad 1 wins and things they had last year when they had a similar record, just because of the league. But the bubble is just so bad this year that I think that they're going to be, closer than people think when all is said and done, if they were to win out here. And you mentioned the hardest game left, Jay. I mean, look at it right there on KenPom. Like, it's according to KenPom, they're projected to win the Utah State game by 3. The Colorado State game by 6, and he's got double-digit wins on the road against Fresno and Air Force. So, he gives Boise State a better than 60% chance of winning each of the final 4 games, but he's got Nevada at 48%. So, by the metrics, this is the toughest game left for Boise State as well.
If Boise State runs the table here, meaning they win every game they're supposed to and pull out the Nevada game, to be 23-8 in overall and 15-5 going into the Mountain West Conference tournament, I would definitely think that plants them firmly on the bubble and into a discussion where it's a coin flip. You can look right now, man. Like
January 29th, if that were the case,
that would be. I kind of mentioned it too, BJ, earlier. The fact that if you can flip the script where you play your best basketball in the month of February versus traditionally they play their best basketball in the month of January, you figure that would bode well for their hopes of maybe winning a game at the NCAA tournament. But 23-8, man, that's a pretty shiny record for playing in the Mountain West, and 15-5 in league play. We're talking hypotheticals that are far from home right now. They have to win 5 games in a row here down the stretch, and a couple of them won't be easy, but if they can do that, they would earn their way, into being firmly on the bubble. But technically, Lunardi has them on the bubble right now. He has them in their next 4 out. They're the 7th team out of the NCAA tournament, according to Joe Lunardi. If they win 5 games in a row, including a quad 1 victory, I have to believe
Colorado State, two teams that are above them in the standings.
I would have to believe that gets them, really back in the discussion. And, you look at the teams on the bubble. I mean, North Carolina this year, like
So bad.
whatever. Oklahoma was great to begin the year. They're like 3-8 or something in conference play, and they blew a game against LSU at home last weekend where they led by 5 with 15 seconds to go, and LSU had like one win in league play. SMU, I think they're a good squad. Georgia played well earlier. They're limping down the stretch. Indiana's already fired their head coach, essentially. I mean, there's just nobody. Pittsburgh's been all over the place this year. There's just nobody on the bubble that like really that really truly scares me. And if Boise State can win out, hopefully they can put themselves in a spot. I think the thing that I don't love is that, technically San Diego State is still on the bubble too. And you're going to, if you get it to a point where you have two Mountain West teams in the discussion for the play-in game, or, in Dayton, that could be a convoluted, or actually it could be a pretty easy discussion where it's like, San Diego State beat these guys twice. They don't need to be here either. I don't know. We'll see. The only thing I will say,
you definitely don't want. And here, by the way, is Joel Lenardi's on the bubble
Yeah.
here that you're talking about. You definitely don't want what the debate to come down to San Diego State versus Boise State. Not at all.
that would be a bad, because Boise, not only San Diego State won in Boise, they killed him in San Diego. That would not be a favorable situation for Boise State at
This
all.
was updated literally about 20 minutes ago, 9:15 today. He has them up to the seventh place, and just to kind of put that out there, what one win can do. I think he had them as the 11th team out before the New Mexico game, so they jumped up 4 spots on his list just by beating Mexico.
And Lunardi's not gospel, but he's pretty darn good at what he does. There's actually probably better people out there, but Lunardi's, he's pretty dialed. That if he's got him on the bubble, it doesn't mean like they're completely out of the discussion. So I'll take this for what it's worth. And I think more than anything, it just has to what you've already pointed out, BJ, that the bubble right now just seems like it can be so volatile. I mean, I don't expect Oklahoma to be in the discussion come Selection Sunday. I think they're going in the wrong direction. I think that North Carolina's brand is holding them up, but they have not been that good, especially in in conference play or whatever. I don't know. We'll kind of have to wait and see, but that's why these next few weeks are going to be all the more exciting. I mean, if on Selection Sunday this team, I don't know, some of these hypotheticals seem silly because so much has to happen, but if they run the table, they're 5-0. If they win, they make it somehow to the Mountain West Conference Championship game. That's 2 more wins, right? So now they're 25-9, searching for an at-large bid. Man,
we said it last week or whenever it was. It'd be the happiest feeling ever to see you're going to Dayton.
Absolutely, and that's another thing about this team. Like I think that last year was like complete and utter shock that it happened. This year, nope, embrace it. Let's go get a win in Dayton. There would be no negativity, anything about it. It would be, thank God we're in. Now it's time to go get a dub.
Blake says, I said a couple weeks ago that of all the years, this will probably be the team that ends up winning a tournament game. You
know what? I had a old prominent football player. It was probably 2 weeks ago. After I don't know, it was their second or third win in that 4-game winning streak, and he goes, "Just wait, this team's somehow going to find a way to get in, and then they're going to be the team that actually gets it done in the NCAA tournament." And I kind of laugh because that's also just kind of the way sports work, man. They can surprise us, and I so hope that it's true because I love covering the NCAA tournament. It is a different level of energy being around the NCAA tournament. So I am really hopeful. And you know what, BJ? I don't care. I know Dayton well. You know Dayton well. If we got to go back to Dayton, I'll go to Dayton.
It's no, definitely would. No doubt about it. It's just why people, again, call me Homer, wearing the blue and orange goggles, whatever, but I've never given up hope on this team no matter what, because it just doesn't feel right for Alvaro Cardenas to not play in the NCAA tournament, and it doesn't feel right for Tyson Degenhardt to not even get to the tournament in his last year. And then if they get there, I would bet the house they're going to win the game if they get there. Like there's just no like. And again, I thought this with Max Rice last year. I thought, okay, Max Rice, the perfect way for his career to be the player, the sixth-year senior coach's kid wins that first tournament game. It just felt like destiny. It felt like it was going to happen with Max Rice last year. So obviously, just because you think it's going to happen, it doesn't mean it's going to. But it just all year has just felt like it. And as it's coming down to this, closer to the wire, I've yet to let myself say that's not going to happen. I mean, whether they win the Mountain West tournament on some crazy run, whether they get that last team in the field somehow, some way. Again, maybe I'm just the eternal optimist, homer, whatever, but it just feels like some of the guys on this team deserve this, all the things that Leon Rice has gone through, but it just seems like for Tyson Degenhart, his career cannot end in the NIT. It cannot end with a flame out in the Mountain West tournament quarterfinals. Like it just doesn't. I just can't see that happening. And if it does, it would just be so disappointing for him and his program. Maybe some people would say, "Oh, par for the course, whatever." That's what you know. It'd be crazier if it didn't happen. I get it, but that's why this whole time a guy like Alvaro Cardenas, who it's just such a shame we've only gotten to cover him for 1 year. That dude just deserves to play in March Madness. Yeah. To experience all that comes with that, and so that's part of why I continue to hold out hope, is because it just seems like, and it just seems like it's all lining up that it has to happen.
It's been shocking to me how much I like Alvaro, and this guy is like the ultimate accountability guy, always pointing the finger at himself, never taking praise. Walks into a press conference and he breaks the assist record, and he's like, whoa, before we talk about me, I need to point out something this guy's done. It sucks they only get him for 1 year, because he's not only a good basketball player, but he seems like he would be an outstanding program guy. And you begin to understand why San Jose State, a couple of years that he was there, seemed to punch way above their weight. I mean, didn't San Jose State have like a 21 season 1 year he was there? That never happens there.
They finished as the 5 seed, I believe.
Yeah, that never happens there. So I hope for that kid's sake that he does get to experience the NCAA tournament, because it's the reason he transferred to Boise State. They went to 3 in a row. They contend for Mountain West championships. He wanted to be a part of that. The Mountain West regular season title is, I mean, that's too far out. They need so much help in order to attain that. But they can go on a run at the Mountain West tournament and maybe still somehow get into the NCAA tournament. You're right. He deserves that. And he was phenomenal the other night, BJ. It's so funny. I woke up the following morning, and we knew that Al had a great game, but there's so much talk of Peanut and there's so much talk of Tyson, deservingly, that it was like this guy that just had 11 points, 10 assists, and 5 rebounds in a game was like such an afterthought. That is such an insane stat line for a Boise State point guard. I mean, really, it's only happened once in the Leon Rice era, and it was Mikey Thompson in 2016, coincidentally, also against New Mexico. But it's only happened a handful of times in the last 15 or so years in the Mountain West Conference. I can't remember. I think we were talking about this. It's 6 or 7 times. It's very, very few. And Al did it, and we barely even talked about it because two guys had such a good game, and then Al is kind of like, we just kind of almost now assume it. But that was a big punch back for him in a big game too, where we talked about this on Friday. BJ hasn't always been, I don't want to say that. He in 3 of the bigger games that previously happened, he wasn't great. 15 steals, 15 assists, 15 turnovers. And so for him to come back and get 11 points, 10 assists, and 5 steals is pretty epic.
I didn't even realize it's so easy that you don't even realize. I mean, I was literally on the post-game show going down the stat line going, Alvaro Cardenas, 11 oh crap, 10 assists. Like, I mean, it just happens. So we're so used to it by now that you just don't, you look up and in the past, you're like, oh, Max Rice has 5 assists. Oh, Marcus Shaver has 6 assists. Now it's just like, oh, 8, you expect 8, 9, 10 every game. It is, it's crazy. So big game tomorrow against Nevada. Looking forward to it. Bronco Nation News will be in Reno as long as no travel delays or anything. I felt bad for our guy Jeff Grammer, couldn't make it to Boise. So traveling day a game is very risky. We'll see what happens.
I don't know. I say we find a way to pop Grammer's tire, something. Make sure that he doesn't make it to the Mountain West tournament, because somehow it turned out
the Lobos are 1-7 in games he's never attended in person.
Okay, well, that's what Boise State fans, it's on you then to make sure that Jeff Grammer wants to watch the Mountain West tournament from Albuquerque. Just kidding, Jeff. Get to Albuquerque safely.
Well,
Wouldn't be the same
we'll be there
without you.
tomorrow in Reno. Looking forward to that. But one thing that's already excited to look forward to for next year, Jay, the Maui Invitational. That was actually the press release came out while we were interviewing Jeremiah Dickey yesterday on our show. So we did get a thought from Jeremiah about that. But I know it's not the Maui Invitational of old. The NIL tournament I know is kind of the premier tournament now. But and you did have, I think, Baylor and Oregon were originally in this tournament as well and backed out. But you've still got Texas. You've still got USC. You've still got Arizona State. You've got NC State, Seton Hall. I mean, you've got name programs in here. And like I said, including Texas and USC, which I think are definitely big enough to carry some weight in this thing. And you get a trip to Maui, and you're in the Maui Invitational. You get 3 games on the ESPN family of networks. It's the big tournament of Feast Week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And it's going to be a big carrot in the recruiting trail and the portal, too, to tell kids, hey, you get to come play in the Maui Invitational and be a part of this. Like, this is another milestone, albeit a small one or whatever, but you keep adding stuff to the Leon Rice kind of resume here at Boise State. Getting Boise State basketball in the Maui Invitational is, regardless of what the tournament is now, is still a massive deal.
Yeah, and I know this is a surprise to a lot of people, but on Tuesdays and Fridays, I do a show with a friend of mine, and he actually gave me a little bit of a heads up about this before Rothstein even broke this. So I wasn't actually completely surprised. Again, I do a show with a buddy of mine on Tuesdays and Fridays, and he kind of gave me a little bit of a heads up on that. So, nope, different guy. So not nearly as cool as Shane. A buddy of mine, not nearly as cool as Shane. Tuesdays and Fridays show. So
Get that out there first when we've all known about this for a few days.
I'm just trying to tip my cap to you, buddy. But
doesn't matter. John got it first, but I appreciate
whatever. Who cares? Who cares? Me actually. That's a great tournament to get in. We know the significance of that. There's nothing better than sitting at home over Thanksgiving watching, the Maui Invitational and things like that. So I'm stoked. That'll be an awesome tournament for Boise State to get into. And there's going to be credible opponents, tons of eyes on them. It's kind of a new era with Tyson Dagenhart, graduating and things like that. It's a wonderful stage for Boise State to kick off next season. Tip off next season.
One football thought from you. They did just officially announce the 2 transfers that we've talked about.
Yeah.
Colton Boomer, the kicker from UCF, and Jaden Mickey, the defensive back from Notre Dame. Both of those are now officially signed and in the books. What do you make of those 2 additions?
It helps round out the roster. You wanted to bring in a little bit of experience at kicker because Jonah Dalmas had so much experience, and Boomer's already made a big kick on the blue. He beat Boise State here a couple of years ago with a game-winning field goal. Also had a field goal from over 50 in that game. And then, the kid from Notre Dame, former 4-star transfer that had offers from like everybody coming out of high school. That's just another piece of experience and depth they add to that room. So now you have him, you have Devon Banks, Jeremiah Irby, Amarion McCoy. Don't forget about Franklin Johnson Jr. coming up here. Like, that's a room that all of a sudden is going to be pretty competitive next fall, and you're gonna have to be good in order to get on the field.
Yeah, Mickey had 2 tackles in their win against Texas A&M in the season opener early in the game before he decided to redshirt later that season. But the schedule also came out yesterday, Jay. No back-to-back road games. You get a bye before you play Air Force. You get 2 byes, which we knew was happening, but still nice to kind of see where they're situated. One kind of early, and then one a little bit later. You do, I think, 7 games in a row, which is a little longer than you'd like between byes, but it is what it is. You do get one stretch of 2 home games, New Mexico and UNLV, but you get the home games kind of spread out pretty regularly throughout the season. Fans don't really have to wait, till October, whatever it was last year, to get a home game. But overall, I thought there was a chance that Boise State could get, gypped in this. A lot of times they kind of want the teams that are leaving the conference, they try to make it tough on them. But I'll be honest, Jay, I think they want that $8 million. I think they went the other way. You could make a very strong case. They could have been way harsher on Boise State. I think they got a very manageable, favorable schedule this year, all things considered. I think the league said, hey, we got one more chance to really cash in on this CFP thing with Boise State. We might as well take advantage of it. I'm not saying they totally purposely cooked it, but it could have been a lot worse.
Well, BJ, the Mountain West has promised some teams around the league in the future quite a bit of money. And so they need to make sure they make as much money as they can while they can with Boise State in the league. And that is now my opinion after seeing the schedule come out, because I was right there with you. I was worried that Boise State was going to be on the other end of this thing. Like, Maybe they send him back to, Nevada, Las Vegas for the third year in a row, or just something like that. And you kind of look for the toughest stretch of games. Obviously, anything you surround around Notre Dame is going to be a tough stretch, but just kind of looking at league play, you probably get a host. I think Jason X going to do a good job at New Mexico, and then you get UNLV the weekend after that. But both those games are on the blue. You go to San Diego in November. You get Air Force out of the way in September, not only off of a bye, but when it's going to be, the climate there is going to be fine. You kick that game to November, it's going to be cold. So I think it actually all worked out pretty darn well, man. And yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. And more than anything, can we just make 2 buys a thing forever? I think the players would like it. If we want to emphasize the fact they're student athletes, it gives them another week in season to making sure they're taking care of their academics. They can rest up. And then,
Dude,
most and
zero like Kansas, they have 3 buys. Fresno State, I think, has 3 buys.
That's amazing. I love it. I love it. I personally love it too. This is serves my personal satisfaction as well, because it gives us another week off to catch our breath and maybe spend a little bit of time with our loved ones in season.
Love the schedule. Seems like the table's set for another huge year.
I agree.
Some schools have 3 buys, and yeah, you could. I mean, and by the way, the San Diego State game's on my birthday, so let's go have a party in San Diego. Nice of them to put that on my birthday, but we should mention, as I've seen some people incorrectly say or whatever, like these are not all set for Saturdays. There's
correct.
Once in a while they would on the initial schedule have a Thursday or Friday already on there, but they're all Saturdays for now. But coming up in like May, they usually come out with the TV schedule, and I would suspect multiple games. I still think the South Florida game makes sense.
Yeah,
there Friday. But
going all the way across the country, if you can kick that game to a Friday or even a Thursday, I think Boise State would be all for that.
Yeah, but I would expect 2 or 3 at least probably to move to Friday. We'll find out that closer to the time. Jay, I know the girls' state basketball is in full swing. I know yesterday was a long one for you.
Yeah.
But what's the coverage and things going on with the basketball tournament?
Hit 11 games yesterday, capped by NNU hosting St. Martin's. By the way, Nighthawks get a big win to stay in the GNAC title race. Today we'll be back out at Girls State, though.
When you went to 10 games, you still made it out to.
Hey, Paul Rush, the athletic director out there. I gotta make sure that I'm spreading the love.
Yeah, and then you get up and do this dumb show, man. That's that's crazy, man. That's crazy. But I know you guys are all over it.
Yep.
KTVB, all the various websites. So we got semifinals today.
Semifinals today. Yep. And then state championship Saturday tomorrow with the Boise State game in between it all.
That's right. Yeah. Well, appreciate you as always, Jay, for coming on. Good luck with all the coverage this weekend with all the various sports, and we'll be catching up with you on Tuesday, man. By the way, I had the hat for you. I missed you the other day. I forgot to bring it. I brought it to the press conference. I didn't see you. And then, but I forgot which color you wanted, if you wanted the black or the blue.
I'm going blue.
These are the 3 options here.
I'm going blue.
Okay,
yep,
well,
that's the one
for you here in the near future. But I'm going to announce the golf tournament, and I'm going to keep it going. I'll talk a little more about the football schedule if anybody wants to, but we'll let Jay roll. Appreciate you as always, Jay, and we'll talk to you soon, man.
Sounds good. Everybody have a good weekend.
Check them out at KTVB this weekend. All the women's basketball coverage going on. And, we'll keep this thing going. Don't go anywhere. We're going to announce the new plans for the golf tournament here momentarily. And we'll take some more of your comments, thoughts, whatever you got on the game tomorrow. The football schedule, Jaden Mickey, the defensive back from Notre Dame that they've officially signed. Colton Boomer, the kicker as well. So a lot still to get to here on Bronco Nation News. But first, I want to tell you about a couple of our great sponsors, including Bousher Real Estate. Matt Bousher, his team. When you buy or sell a home with Matt, you get to meet everybody in the picture there. The service is first class. It's unmatched. I know everybody in this town has like 5 friends that are realtors, but if you want the best value for your home, the best realtor that's going to fight for you, and every dollar matters, Matt Bousher, Bousher Real Estate. Any size home, doesn't matter. They're ready to help you out. Get more information online, BousherRealEstate.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shop Ridleys.com. 13 locations around the state of Idaho and the surrounding states. If you are looking for a hometown feel when you walk in that grocery store and you don't want to deal with the corporate companies and things, family-owned, Ridley's Family Markets is your spot to go. Love that Cuno location, Star as well. And you can download their Skip app, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line. shopridleys.com. Hey, if you're looking for a job, well, how about the trucking industry? You want a fresh start? You want to get out on the open road, listen to your podcast on your phone all day, whatever you want to do. But transcompservice.com, they can help you get into the trucking industry as a truck driver. All the permits, everything you need to get out there towing that first load, they can help you out. It's a local company helping folks all over the world at transcompservice.com. Lean Feast, leanfeastmeridian.com. Dave and company are ready to fuel you with some healthy meals like they're fueling the football team, the basketball team, Tyson Degenhart, Brooke Thompson. They are ready, and the food is tremendous. It's healthy, it's fresh, it's not frozen, and the best part is it's fully customizable. It's all done by the weight. You say how much protein you want, how much carbs, veggies. You pop it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and you're eating steak, shrimp, chicken. It's perfect at the office, but it's good at home as well. And it's good in your refrigerator for 5 days. They even deliver to you. You don't even have to go into the store. No excuse to not eat healthy. Get your order delivered from Lean Feast. Keep it in your fridge all week, and then you're good to go. leanfeastmeridian.com. We heard earlier on the voicemail line from Tyson. If you want to leave us a voicemail, speakpipe.com/BNN. Speakpipe.com/BNN. You can leave us a voicemail, and it's brought to you by Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 2 decades. Whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an inspection, an estimate, they got you covered at mysignatureroofing.com. Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com. We're going to get to RJ Keene on an upcoming show as well as we get set for get closer to the final couple of home games next week. So I think next Tuesday we may try to get RJ back on. Alvaro is my guy from the start of the season. Yeah, from the second they announced him as a I'm wrong often. I'm often wrong. I will say it, but I was right about Alvaro Cardenas. I thought he was the perfect guy for this offense, for this team. I didn't realize the type of leader in person he was. I just saw him play at San Jose and thought his game was perfect. I didn't realize everything else that came to the table with Alvaro Cardenas. He's been a home run hit for Boise State in a lot of ways, and it's going to be a shame to see him leave after this season. All right, Bronco Nation news, golf tournament. We are ready to announce the details, but first, as a quick refresher, last year, we had a happy hour event the night before, and we had the golf tournament the day of. First, let's look back the happy hour event the night before the golf tournament at Stein Distributing last year. All right, so that was the happy hour event. We had about 60 people. We had room for more, but it was kind of a last-second thing we added in. But literally, you paid like $25, and you got to have a couple drinks and hang out and hear a exclusive Q&A with the 2 head coaches, Leon Rice and Spencer Danielson. I mean, you see him in the video there. It's pretty incredible when you think about it. Spencer Danielson, Leon Rice, a Q&A. They were taking questions from the fans. It was an awesome thing that we kind of threw together at the last minute. The first announcement, that is happening again, and Spencer Danielson has already committed to coming again. So Spencer Danielson, Q&A, we're working on Leon Rice, some other special guests, but Leon Rice, Spencer Danielson, we're expecting that to happen again, but Spencer Danielson has already committed a Q&A at the happy hour event the night before the golf tournament. The other part that we are announcing as part of this is that is now included in your ticket. Your ticket price is going to go up slightly. We're raising the ticket price by $10 from last year to this year for each individual golfer. It is going up $10, but you get to come to the happy hour the night before for free, and you get to hear a Q&A and meet some special guests. We'll have, obviously the whole BNN team will be there. Johnny Prater, Brad Bedell, Kent Riddle, Riley Smith, the whole crew. We're going to have some coaches from the various sports there as well. We're going to have the athletes from Ford, the Lithia Ford guys, Cage Casey, Roger Carrion, Matt Lauder. They will be there signing autographs, taking pictures. We'll get them on stage for a Q&A as well. But right now, the headliner, Spencer Danielson, will be doing the Q&A, and we're working on Leon Rice and some other guests. We're hoping and we're expecting it to happen, but haven't officially confirmed the date yet with Coach Rice. But I can say that Spencer Danielson has committed and will be there for the Q&A May 29th, the night before the golf tournament, and we'll have just going to be a fun time to hang out. We're not ready to announce the location yet, but that will be included in your price of the ticket. So we may be able to sell extra tickets to that down the road if we have room. If you don't want to golf, you just want to come to the happy hour. But right now, any golfer, you automatically get to come to the happy hour the night before. May 29th is the date, the night before the tournament, which is on May 30th. We are once again benefiting the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. We are making some changes to the format of the golf tournament. But before we do that, let's take a look back at last year's 3rd annual Bronco Nation News Classic at Timberstone Golf Course.
All the cards and always kept me in the dark. I never thought I could shake this heartache until I saw your light, and it's got me feeling like life is good, yeah. Life is good, yeah. Yeah, in my darkest times, you got me feeling like I've been walking on air. Left all my worries and cares. I've got no burdens around you.
Man, I'm already can't wait for next year after looking at that video right there. We had so much fun. And all right, so the format this year, we're going back to one group. We had the morning and the afternoon the last couple of years. We had a huge wreck that happened in the morning, and it forced us to start the morning session like an hour late, and then the morning session went long. The afternoon group, I've told you already, but you guys kind of got screwed. You just had to wait around to start late. We had just some other issues that happened. So the afternoon group, we're primarily doing this for you because I feel bad. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't quite as good as I wanted it to be in the afternoon because of the delays and things. So we're going back to one shotgun start at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. will be one shotgun start. We're only having one session, but we are going to fivesomes. So instead of foursomes, we're going to fivesomes. A lot of the groups had fivesomes anyway with celebrities and stuff last year, but to make up some of the money lost by getting rid of one of the sessions, we are going to fivesomes. We will only have 32 groups. We're not going 36. We want to keep the pace of play, as best we can. So 32 groups. We will have fivesomes, but it starts at 9 a.m. It's at Timberstone Golf Course on May 30th. And a price for an individual ticket is $160, up $10 from the $150 last year. That makes a fivesome $800. We're benefiting the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. You get a sleeve of golf balls. You get lunch. You get, as I said, the ticket to the happy hour the night before. You get, some drink tickets. You get some other swag on the course from some of our great sponsors and companies. And you get a beautiful course, 18 holes of golf, driving range, putting green, all that good stuff. And it'll go from probably 9 to 2:30, 3 o'clock on Friday, May 30th. So that is the date. And we appreciate those that have already come. Now, here's kind of the kicker. I've already gave anyone that played last year the chance to get in first. And with that said, we've only got 10 foursomes left to sell. So we already have sold out, or we haven't sold out, but we've sold 22 of the 32 foursomes that we have. So if you're interested in playing in this tournament, you want to get a fivesome together, $160 a person, $800 for the foursome. I know that sounds expensive, but when you're playing on a nice course like Timberstone, we've got to pay for the course. We got to pay for lunch. There's a lot of expenses, and we would like to make a sizable donation to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. In 3 years of this golf tournament, we have donated almost $25,000 to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission in 3 years of this tournament. $5,000 the first year, $8,000 the second year. Last year, we were able to give $10,000 to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. So if you want to help out a good cause, you want to get some friends together, play some golf, we're going to have a lot of special guests, celebrities, basketball coaches, some players out there golfing. So if you want to meet some of those and golf with them and hang out, it's going to be the event of the summer, as it is every year. I've yet to really meet anyone that did it and didn't like it. As I said, even when the afternoon folks got screwed a little bit, I still think we gave pretty good value for the money. And so we hope you'll want to play with us, but we only have 10 foursomes left. They are officially on sale right now. The 2025 Bronco Nation News Golf Tournament on May 30th. It is at Timberstone Golf Course. And if you want to play, you can register right now. This tournament is presented by rowpaint.com and Idaho Central Credit Union, two of our great sponsors here. Portion of the proceeds, pretty much all the proceeds. We haven't made a penny off this tournament the last 3 years. We give as much as we can and even more to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission from this, our 4th annual tournament. Super excited. You can get more information online at bronconationnews.com/golf. You can also email me, rains@bronconationnews.com, rains, RAINS, @bronconationnews.com. And we have 10 fivesomes left. If you'd like to be a whole sponsor, if your business would like to guarantee yourself one of the foursomes, you can become a whole sponsor and a sponsor of the tournament and get some cool stuff out of that. And we can guarantee you a fivesome and a whole sponsorship as well. So if you own a local business and you're interested in getting involved and helping out a good cause, reach out to me, email me. We'll try to hook you up, but we are super excited about this. I didn't announce this part of it yet, but Jay Tust will be moderating the Q&A. That's the plan as of now. Jay Tust will moderate the Q&A with Spencer Danielson and our special guests. And we pass the mic around the crowd. You get to ask a question to them. It's a very intimate kind of thing where you hear some good stories and things that you haven't heard before at the Q&A. I mean, the Q&A is probably worth the price of admission by itself. It's kind of a happy hour. You get to mingle, meet some of the special guests, coaches, celebrities, and it's going to be a really cool night. And then you get to play golf the next day, and it's all included in the price of admission. $800 for the foursome, $160 per player. And reach out to me now. We will keep a foursome or a fivesome available for individual players. If you don't have a group but you want to play individually, reach out to me. We'll try to get you in as well. But businesses, we could use some whole sponsors, some corporate sponsors. If you want to step up as well and help us make the donation bigger to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission, we would love to do that. So on sale now, Bronco Nation News/golf. Email me, Rains at Bronco Nation News, if you want more information. May 30th, Timberstone. But we already only have 10 foursomes left. So act now before we sell out quickly. Looks like a great event. Wish I was closer and able to make it. Yeah, wish you could as well. Robbie saying that was so fun. I believe Robbie came to the happy hour event the night before last year. So if you guys are hey, AP. Thank you, AP. Finally. Yesterday, you told me he was verbally committed on 3, and your buddy Jay both stated that he signed. Officially announced an hour ago. I will take my apology. You're actually wrong. They just announced it. He just signed. So it was not official yet. So we were actually right, AP. You're wrong again. So take that. No, he was not signed until they announced that he had signed, which just happened an hour ago. So we said that he was committed and that it wasn't official, and that was the case. Once Boise State announces it, then it becomes official, which it now is. So we'll take another win in the win column. Thanks for that one. All right. Again, AP, missed you on the post-game show after the New Mexico game. We were waiting for you, but we missed you there, man. Appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. ICCU.com, our Friday sponsor, Idaho Central Credit Union. You see their nice new logo there in the corner of the screen. ICCU.com. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is that mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Rain's family made the switch, and we were so happy that we did. You can as well at Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. We are, as I said, going to effort. It's very risky on the day of the game, but we are trying to go down tomorrow morning to Reno. My son's birthday is today, so I decided to stay and have family dinner with him tonight. And then I got a 6 a.m. flight tomorrow to Vegas, and then Vegas to Reno, and should get there in time for the 3 o'clock Pacific time start. 4 o'clock Mountain time tomorrow is the game. 4 o'clock Mountain time tomorrow. We will be live from Reno, assuming all the travel goes well, at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock tomorrow, live from Reno with the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. So Saturday afternoon, good solid time. Carve out some of that time to join us. 3 o'clock Mountain time on the you know what? I actually thought about it. Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. A lot of flying. You should just drive it. Yeah, it's the one thing about Reno. They got rid of those direct flights on Horizon Air. Now you got to connect somewhere. On the way back, I go from Reno to Oakland and then Oakland to Boise, which is a little less flying. It's about 6.5 hours. I thought a little bit about maybe going halfway tonight or going to Winnemucca. It's about 4 hours to Winnemucca. And if I didn't leave till 8 o'clock, wasn't sure what that drive at night would be like driving down to Winnemucca. I'm not quite sure, to be honest, but I have kind of toyed with that. Maybe there's a small chance I still do that. But as of now, flying out at 6 o'clock on the dot tomorrow morning, heading down to down to Vegas and then to Reno. So not enough time to hit up Circa, though. The layover is only about 2 hours, so we can't go visit our friends over at Circa, but still I'm looking forward to getting to Reno. Big game tomorrow, as we said. I mean, I again, nothing against Utah State. They're a very solid team, but I think Boise State can win that game. I think Boise State will win that game, and I think Boise State could very easily win the last 4 games. If Boise State wins tomorrow, I think there's a real chance they're going to win out and put themselves in position. We could raffle off tickets for the Idaho Youth Sports Commission. If folks want to jump in the rental truck or whatever, and we all just drive down to Reno, we could maybe figure something out with that. So that might be kind of fun. No, looking forward to getting to Reno. Big game tomorrow. And like I said, if Boise State can find a way to win, and how does Pearson Carmichael rebound? I mean, I don't think he's going for 21 again, but can he get 15? Can he get 12? Or is he going to go, 1 for 4 and be a non-factor? Omar Stanley, can he build off what he did yesterday? I mean, a lot of things to focus on the game tomorrow, and a lot of, reasons for optimism, but you want to see things from Wednesday's game against New Mexico carry over against Nevada, namely Omar Stanley and Pearson Carmichael. If both those guys can, find ways to build off what they did the other day and contribute, I think that I think that's certainly something to pay attention to here moving forward. And if those guys can do it, I would feel pretty good about the opportunity there. So appreciate you guys for joining the show or for watching the show. Thank you to Jay Tust earlier as well. Appreciate all you guys. Again, go ahead and sign up for the golf tournament if you're ready. Rains at BroncoNationNews.com. I can give you more information. And appreciate you guys. Go subscribe if you can. BNN 50 deals. The promo code gets you a full year at BroncoNationNews.com for just $50. That includes all of our exclusive content, a daily email, subscriber only shows, which will be returning here shortly, and a lot of good stuff for you. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, support the sponsors. A couple aren't on the screen. Jackson's, don't forget today's the day for Jackson's to get that $2 hot dog and soda. That is at Jackson's, and you can get that with your Let's Go Rewards app. Hot dog and soda for $2 today at Jackson's, since they scored 70 points in the game the other day. And then don't forget about our friends at Taco Bell as well. We don't have them listed on the ad back here. We'll get that updated, but appreciate all of our major sponsors. Go support the sponsors, folks. Tell them it's why you're visiting and supporting them, because of their work with BNN. It would really mean a lot to tell the Travis Hawks of the world and the Nicolason family and everybody that you're supporting their business because of BNN. That really, you may not think it does, but even one person telling them that does goes a long way. There you go. Just ate at Taco Bell. There you go. Great to hear. Appreciate you for saying that. So hope you guys have a great day. Subscribe, like, share, tell your friends. It's a 70-minute show on YouTube here, free of charge, thanks to all the sponsors and subscribers. So please subscribe if you can. Go support the sponsors if you can. We'll have an article up previewing this game from Nathan Carroll in the next 20 minutes or so. He just sent it during the show. I'll get that posted, so you can go to BroncoNationNews.com and read our coverage. And then you can watch 3 o'clock Mountain Time right here on YouTube. We'll be live from the Lawler Event Center in Reno, getting set for Boise State and Nevada in a big one in the Mountain West. Thanks for watching the show, guys. Appreciate you. Hope you have a great rest of your Friday. Happy birthday again to my 10-year-old Naismith. And we'll talk to you from Reno tomorrow. Bronco Nation News Live, an ICCU Friday edition here from the Western Collective Studios. Of course, we're brought to you by our title sponsor, all your painting needs. Make sure you hit up rowpaint.com. We'll talk to you guys from Reno tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.